Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watchman Review. Most do not realize this, but the Bible is full of proven science. You see, the Hebrews were given certain truths by God way before we finally figured them out ourselves. From ocean currents and dinosaurs to even medical procedures and prophecy, the Bible already had the answers waiting for us. Let me share a few surprising examples. For a long time, sailors believed they might fall off the edge of the earth when sailing. Do you remember that? But you see, Isaiah 40:22 already told us this a couple thousand years ago, declaring the earth as circular. He stated the earth is round, and Isaiah continues by stating God stretched out the heavens. Interesting. Job 26:7 also adds that earth is suspended from nothing. Speaking of the book of Job, let's take a look at verse 40:15. The Bible told us dinosaurs were present in man's time, and that they would be slain with the sword. Might this explain the infamous stories of knights fighting dragons, or even the numerous human with dinosaur footprints found all around the world? Here's another interesting one. In the early 1800s, this gentleman, oceanographer Matthew Maury, found in Psalms 8:8 that God says there are paths in the sea. Maury boldly declared, "If God says there are paths in the sea, I'm going to find them." And wouldn't you know, he did. Today, Mr. Maury is given recognition for discovering the warm and cold continental currents. In Genesis 6:15, we are provided specific dimensions for Noah's Ark: 300 cubits in length, 50 cubits in width, and 30 cubits in height. Now, I would imagine God's ship design provided to Noah was, well, let's say, more than dependable. Is there a way to test this theory? Well, yes. Get this. In 1993, the South Korean World Class Research Center tested big ship designs and surprisingly found the dimensions provided in the Bible to be best for large carrier ships. In case you did not know, Noah's Ark has been discovered in Turkey. They were even able to extract animal dung and hair from within the ruins of the Ark. To find out more, view our video Evidence of God. There's a link in the description box below. And then there are medical laws given to the Hebrews in the Bible. Leviticus 13:46 told the Hebrews to quarantine the sick. You realize Leviticus is ancient, and it was not until the 17th century that doctors realized the need to isolate the sick from the healthy. Leviticus 15:13 also told the Hebrews to wash their hands under running water to prevent disease. Prior to 1845, 30% of mothers died after childbirth. 30%. After doctors realized the need to wash their hands, the death rate dropped to 2%. And Leviticus 17:11 says that the life of the flesh is in the blood. Today we test the health of our organs and detect disease through blood tests. And get this, until the late 1890s, we bled out people who were sick. Today we give them blood transfusions. Why? Because the life of the flesh is in the blood. Here's another interesting tidbit. In the late 1980s to early 90s, NASA announced they discovered that 24 hours are missing in time. Did you catch that? Of course, God has an answer for that too, doesn't he? Joshua 10:13 specifically declares God stopped the sun for a whole day. Now, some will say this is simply conspiracy, that it's untrue. However, after doing my own research, it sounds more like government cover-up to me. Why? Because the ancient Babylonians, Peruvians, Aztecs, Egyptians, and Chinese recorded this same event around the world around the same time in history. That's 6 different cultures recording the same event around the globe. Coincidence? Conspiracy? Let's jump ahead in time a little. Are there any other truths the Bible shares with us? Regarding Israel, Jesus foretold the destruction of the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. This was told in Luke 21:6 and Matthew 24:2, and it actually happened in 70 AD, just as Jesus said it would. Then there is Ezekiel 37:12, which states Israel would eventually be returned to their land, and Ezekiel 36:8 declaring the land would again become fruitful when they returned. These things were of course fulfilled in around 1947. Let's talk prophecy for a moment. Things we might see happening today as latter-day biblical truths. Zechariah 12:3 says in the latter days Jerusalem will become a burdensome stone to the world. Is this a truth today? Hosea 4:3 boldly declares there will be mass animal deaths, which is already happening en masse around the world. The book of Revelation warns of a one world government and one world religion. Do we see that today? The answer is yes. It's happening. How about Isaiah 17, which tells us the city of Damascus, Syria will be utterly destroyed? Understand, Damascus is a huge city, thousands of years old. And if you're watching the news, you know that the destruction of Damascus is already in process. That brings me to Ezekiel 38. If you believe prophecy validates the Bible, then hold on to your seats because Russia, Iran, and Turkey will invade Israel. And if you're paying attention, then you know that the enemy is already at Israel's doorsteps. But don't worry, God saves Israel and destroys the enemy, ushering in the rapture and 7-year tribulation. You see, the Bible is full of truths. God and Jesus do not lie. The question is, however, are you ready for the truth? Do your own research. Watch our playlist, Proof of God, Jesus, and the Bible. The truth awaits you if only you seek it in the Word of God. Thank you for watching, and please consider these facts.